Want to publish to multiple platforms and marketplaces quickly and for free using Godot Engine? Does your team always need up-to-date builds? Hi, I am Santiago Vélez, and I'll show you how. So let's first understand what W4Build is for. W4Build has two main use cases. The first one is compiling Godot. Since Godot is open source, you can modify it to whatever your project needs. You can optimize it, you can change, you can remove, etc. W4Build gives you a stable environment that has all the libraries for you to export the editor and export templates for different platforms like Windows, Linux, macOS, Android, and web. The second use case is exporting your game. To export your game, you can use different Godot versions. W4Build will give you the official releases from Godot, or you can also use the ones that you compiled before. That way, you can combine the two main use cases to first optimize Godot to your needs and then export your game using these new modified binaries of Godot or export templates, so you will get a very optimized game build. There are many scenarios where W4Build can be useful, but let's explore a few of them. If you're working in a distributed team where everyone's pushing changes to the same repository, a continuous integration environment will be super helpful. Everything will be running smoothly, and it easily connects with GitHub, GitLab, Bitbucket, and other common Git repositories. Another scenario will be if you are planning to optimize Godot and then use it to export your builds. A very simple scenario will be if your game is at 2D and you want to remove some of the 3D classes to make the export templates much more lighter, optimized, so your game builds are optimize and light. Another scenario will be if you are always running into difficulties when building the latest changes. So for example, if team member A pushes new changes and you want to export and build your game, how do you know where is it? W4Build keep tracks of your repositories and continuously build your game, so you will always have the latest builds. Another one is if you are planning into releasing or publish your game to different stores, for example, itch.io or Steam. Having configurations of different stores is complex. So W4Build, you configure your credentials, and then after a build has complete, however you configure it, your game, your latest changes will be published to those stores. Some of you might be wondering, what are we seeing here? This is the homepage of W4Build. We are going to have a quick overview of what other tools are available to help you with your game development. In the homepage, you can see a dashboard that will show you the current status of all your builds. Say how many of them have been triggered, how many succeeded, how many of them have error. Also, a quick access to the latest build. The matrix blueprints is our matrix operations where you can configure the initial or the main properties. For example, if you want to compile Godot, you will have to set up your repository, which branch, and some specific scones parameters. After you have the main properties configured, you can add different jobs that will inherit from the initial configuration. Say you want to add a export template for macOS, you configure it as a different job. So once this matrix is triggered, all of the jobs will be initiated and then eventually complete. It's very important to have configured your matrix operations and then have a way to trigger them. W4Build has several ways to trigger a matrix. A very common, and we are very used to it, is a cron trigger. You configure when or in a specific schedule to trigger a different matrix. So say, for example, you want to build your game at 8 p.m. when some of your teammates have leave the office, and for them to continue their work the next day, they will get the latest build. It's a very common use case. A second one is webhooks. Webhooks are just a request, for example, from GitLab or GitHub that tells, hey, I have a new changes on master branch, build it, and it will send all the configuration, which branch, metadata from the repository. After a build has completed, you will need to see the artifacts that it produced. So it has a storage page where you can see every artifact that has been created. You can see the templates, editors, and some of the metadata that has been created for the given artifact. This page also has some common tools. If you want to download it and try it for yourself, you just download the artifact and use it. The second one, and very, very useful, is a shareable link. Say you want to, before publishing to a store, you want to share your game with a few friends for them to try it. You copy a shareable link and send it to them. Hey, I have this new build, try it out. You can configure for how long this link can be valid. A very important part of W4 build is getting your new artifacts, games deployed into different stores or different third-party tools. For example, in this page is where you're going to configure where your games or projects are going to be deployed. For example, Steam or an S3 bucket, itch.io or W4 Cloud. You configure here where you want to deploy, which binaries to use. It's very flexible, so you can deploy your game and sell it. The latest part is builds, seeing how many builds have occurred. So for example, in this one, we have a very big list of all the builds. So let's explore the Windows desktop. In here, you have different tools. You can see different build steps. You can also see all the logs that have been produced. You can download the files and share it with your teammates. Say, for example, you want to ask them, why is this failing? Here is the logs. Another important part is the events page will give you all the events that have occurred. For example, if a webhook has been triggered, a cron trigger started, and you will see, for example, this was a manual event that triggered 3 builds, and you can see all of them. Also, you can have a dashboard where you can manage all the usage you have, how much storage is available, all the credits that each build has used. Also, another part is the team management. You can have different teams working for a different project. You include them, you give permissions, what they can do to help you improve the speed of your team. The final part is documentation. Please have a read. It's very important for you to familiarize with the platform so you can use it. We will be happy to see your next project be a success and through W4 Build.